CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by DiGiorno, Bud Light, Fidelity Investments, and by Chevy.
Bob McKillop, his 5th NCAA tournament appearance. He is in his 19th season as the head coach at Davidson. Let's take a look at his starting lineup, as these young men are some very good basketball players, led by Stephen Curry, who's been averaging over 30 during this tournament. Richards had 13 assists in their win against Wisconsin. Paulus Goslin is the other guard. In the front court, Sander, very rugged. Andrew Lovedale, another rugged player. He's from Nigeria. Meanwhile, for the Jayhawks, Chalmers, Russell Robinson is their emotional leader. Rush, a terrific scorer. And in the front court, it's Arthur and Jackson, 2 bruisers. Bill Self, looking for his first trip to the Final Four. He's led Kansas to 2 Elite 8 appearances. Gus Johnson, Len Elmore with you. Downtown Detroit, today's game being brought to you on HGTV by HP. Your officials: Green, McCall, Sermons. Lenny, as this one gets ready to start, what should we pay attention to early?
Well, I think Davidson is going to have to, or whether Kansas allows them to, integrate the other 4 players or establish them on offense. That's going to take an awful lot of pressure off of Stephen Curry.
Curry coming off a 33-point performance against Wisconsin. In the first round, he had 40 against Gonzaga, 30 in the second half. Second round, 30 against Georgetown, 25 in the second half. He is the son of Del Curry, former Virginia Tech standout. So here we go, Kansas, Davidson. And it's controlled by the Jayhawks.
Just as against Villanova, look for Kansas to try to establish themselves offensively above the rim and stretch the court with their 3-point marksman.
Rush, Robinson, a swinger, Chalmers. Arthur pivoting, double team, splits it. Chalmers kicks it, Rush fires. And the rebound goes to Richards.
And right away you see Davidson doubling down low, trying to get the ball out of the postman's hands, forcing Kansas to take the low percentage 3-point shot.
Now Sander on the baseline, playing with the tender thumb. Suffered against Gonzaga in the first round. Richards driving with the step. Lovedale can't hold on. And here comes Robinson in the front court.
Just as we thought, the classic matchup on the Kansas defensive side. Robinson playing Curry, and Davidson really switching right now. You got Curry down low with the offer in the post.
So every time that ball goes into the post, you see a double team coming already from Davidson.
Well, not just a double team, sometimes a triple team. The idea is to get the ball out of the postman's hands. I don't think Davidson is comfortable with their post people going one-on-one down low with Kansas.
Now Curry knows that Kansas will send a lot of players at him today. I talked to his dad before the game. He said, look for him to penetrate. He's got to hit runners. He's got to hit floaters. He's got to get lost in transition to get open.
Well, right now, with Russell Robinson on him, Robinson's sticking to him as close as his jersey is stuck to him.
Now Richards, 6 to shoot, inside Lovedale. And Davidson is on the board.
Well, that was just a nice look by Richards. Darnell Jackson just fell asleep down low, and Lovedale a beneficiary.
Richards, the all-time leader in assists at Davidson, the only player in the school history to score 1,000 points and drop off 600 assists. He averages over 8 assists per game, and that is tops in the nation. Now some full court pressure being applied by the Wildcats.
And right away, Darnell Jackson is benched in place of Sasha Khan. And I think Jackson, mesmerized by Stephen Curry, just lost his man. And again, with this switch in defense, you'll see oftentimes guards picking up the big guys, and Sasha Khan, who was guarded by Richards had to let him go, and he gets the tip.
Nice tip by Khan. He averages 7 points a game on the year. Inside Curry makes the catch, goes up, and it rims off. Khan with the board. Here comes Robinson. Crossing over, gets to the bucket, and that's an offensive foul. 17:33 to play in the first half. We're knotted up at 2. Right now, Davidson's style really effective because they're trying to slow down this Kansas team.
Well, certainly they're going to be deliberate on the offensive end. They're going to run their sets. They're going to run Stephen Curry probably off of every screen by every player on the Davidson team except for the ball handler. When on the defensive end, Davidson trying to, again, pinch down low, get the ball kicked back outside, and they're going to hold position as they took the charge right there. Kansas has to play under control.
Sander posting. Not a threat to shoot it, but he does. And comes up short. Arthur on the move, gets to the rack, blocked by Lovedale as he gets all the way down the floor. Here comes Curry.
Well, that sent a message. It's not going to be very easy for Kansas to own the air space above the rim.
Curry missing. Stop and start baseline move by Chalmers. And a whistle.
Kansas trying to get out and run, but don't discount the hustle. Andrew Lovedale gets down nicely. Really wasn't an explosive move, the one that we normally see from Darrell Arthur. But Lovedale sent the message that, hey, I can play in this area too.
Lovedale from Benin City, Nigeria. Very rugged basketball player. And Davidson called for a reach and foul as McKillop gives the official an earful. There's Andrew Lovedale. Foul called on Richards. That's his first. Rush. And rebounded. Meno. Boris Meno, a senior from Paris. Richards the other way. Gets there. Finds Lovedale. Nice catch. Blocked by Khan. Taken away by Sasha Khan.
Sasha Khan really playing big inside. Again, with his extension and his experience as a senior, he's not the kind of guy that's going to lose focus, particularly as to where his man is.
Inside Khan, nice catch, puts it on the floor. The kick, Chalmers gets there, dumps it, and the banker off the mark for Arthur. Davidson playing some nice defense. Here comes Curry on the move. Lovedale steps into a 15-footer. Now Robinson bounces it, stolen by Richards, and he's stripped and fouled. So both teams getting up and down the floor and getting back on defense. 15:49 to play in the first half. We're tied at 2. A number of 10 seeds have advanced to the Elite Eight. None of them have reached the Final Four.
Well, that's just one point of history to be made. Obviously, Davidson has never been to the Final Four. And if Davidson should lose, Kansas wins, that would mean all 4 #1 seeds would advance to the Final Four, which is another piece of history.
That's right. Davidson, they have advanced to the Elite Eight 3 times. Their last trip back in 1969 under Lefty Driesell, they lost to North Carolina. So here comes Richards, the nation's leader in assists at 8 a game, into the front court. Collins guards him now.
And there's a double team right there, looking to get the ball out of Richards' hands, try to create a bit of stress for Davidson on the offensive end and kind of speed the game up.
William Archambault, number 22 red, is checked into the game. Curry is 0 for 2 from the field. Davidson 1 of 6. Kansas 1 of 6. Now Meno forcing his way inside, and he shuffled his feet and traveled.
Well, that's the presence of Sasha Khan once again. An outstanding defensive player down low. All reserve team for the Big 12. And again, a guy who could probably start just about for any team in America comes off the bench here for Kansas. And he's paying dividends thus far.
Collins, the lob rush, goes up high and banks it home. Nicely done.
And that's what Kansas wants to do when they get the opportunity. They know they have the size and the athleticism, and that's an advantage over this Davidson team, a scrappy Davidson team, but limited in how they can match up above the rim with Kansas.
Here's Curry, pick and roll, gets in the paint, the runner. Rims off. Minow with the rebound, and he's fouled.
And how about the quick release by Stephen Curry? First of all, the sweet handle behind the back to split the D. Take a look at him right here. Little fake right there, splits the D with the behind the back quick release and just barely misses that. But that's what the defense faces, a guy that's that resourceful.
Here's Curry at quick release off the mark. So he is yet to score. 0 for 4 from the field. But he's very patient. We've seen him explode in the second half of games in this tournament. Now Rush.
Davidson continues to battle for position against the post players inside, looking to front. And just making it so hard on the drivers.
Archambault changes his shot in traffic. Ball batted around, Arthur with the rebound. So Davidson starts this game 1 of 8 as Kansas tries to beat him inside. Kahn with the rebound. Here's Collins driving, fires off the dribble, and he can't make it home.
Boy, rims seem a little bit tight, shooters seem a little bit off.
And a foul on the pass.
But most importantly, the defense. Good position by both teams. If you take a look at the shooters, many of them are off balance just a hair, but just enough to force the misses.
So Rush call for the foul. That's his first. As substitutes come into the game, here comes Lovedale for Minow. Richards the inbounder with Lovedale, Curry, Sander, and Paulus Gosselin. Here's Lovedale to the basket, dumps it in. Sander has it blocked by Jackson.
Jackson's come back into this ball game very attuned to playing defense.
And Rush gets the roll. Brandon Rush now, 4 points. And Kansas takes a 6-2 lead. Richards. And that one goes down.
You can't gamble on Jason Richards. At first blush, he doesn't look like he's got the foot speed to get by a Sharon Collins. But if Collins does anything to gamble, does anything but stay low and keep his center of gravity down so he can stay with Richards, Richards will get past him.
Collins with the step on the baseline. Kahn draws a double. Tries to dribble out of it. Robinson, Rush, rise and fire. In and out. And the rebound goes to Paulus Gosselin. And a foul, top of the key on Collins. The thing about Richards, he's really deceptively quick. He's a better scorer than you realize as well.
Well, it's the change of speed right there. He kind of lulled Collins to sleep with just a kind of hesitation dribble and then made his move, and Collins was forced to put 2 hands up to try to slow him down.
Here's a pick and roll. Collins turns the corner, dribbles it out of bounds. They say it's last touch by Kansas. Watch exclusive video of A-Man Corner live, plus 15 and 16 live, and bonus coverage of the entire field with Masters Extra at cbssports.com/masterslive and masters.org. 6-4, Kansas.
Right now, in the effort to try to establish the other 4 players on the floor besides Stephen Curry, only Richards and Lovedale have been able to knock anything down.
Curry roaming the baseline. Backdoor, Sanders shows it. Blocked again out of bounds. So Kansas well schooled that time. It was Arthur.
Well, you see the help coming over very quickly. Good position defense there by Jackson. And he gets some help from his partner, Arthur.
Arthur, sophomore from Dallas. He averages 13 points a game on the season. Now Curry, quick release, up top. Still struggling. Arthur with the rebound. Long outlet pass to Robinson.
Nice job by Robinson in challenging that Curry shot.
So Curry 0 for 5. Inside, Jackson lost it. Batted around, picked up by Paulus Gosselin.
Kansas cannot force the issue against that double team. Those guys are too good. Keep their hands up. You've got to be able to step back and find the open man. If you're doubled, somebody's open. You have to make the extra pass.
Now Curry. Richards, he can shoot from the perimeter. Collins really in his hip pocket. Sander thinking about it, lets it go, and buries it. Thomas Sander, 6 of 26 from the three-point line prior to that shot, and Lovedale comes up with the steal.
Chalmers overpassed that time, had a clear path to the lane, and probably could have elevated to get the shot off.
Richards again, the runner, and makes it. Oh. Tell you what, Davidson has played killers this year, folks. Duke, North Carolina, UCLA, Gonzaga, Georgetown, Wisconsin. They are not afraid of this Kansas team. Here's Robinson, stop and start in the paint. Can't get the bounce, loose, picked up. Jackson, and he draws contact. 11:03 to play in the first half. Davidson up 9-6. Kansas attacking. Back after this. All right, let's take a look at the game summary. Both teams a little tight to start this game. Davidson 4 of 15, Kansas 3 of 13. Curry is yet to score a point. Gus Johnson, Len Elmore. But right now, this pace looks like it favors Davidson.
Well, it certainly does. Davidson does not want to get into a race up and down the floor with Kansas, so they've been able to get back defensively. They've really, Kansas shooting 3 of 13, they've really done a nice job of pressuring the perimeter players looking to throw those alley-oops. Can't see the rim, you can't throw the alley-oop. And once it does go inside, you look for the double teams, and Davidson doing a nice job there. Kansas is going to have to solve those balls, kicking it back out, find the open shooters.
So Jackson is at the free throw line. He's a 69% free throw shooter, misses the first. And on the season, Kansas as a team shoots 69% as he misses a pair.
When you take a look at Davidson, not in any hurry, they're going to walk it up. Again, they execute so very well.
And the scoreboard has gone blank right now. Davidson and Kansas have yet to score a point, according to the scoreboard. It's been a slow pace, but not that slow.
I doubt seriously if either one of these teams want to start all over again.
In the meantime, gives us an opportunity to do what's most important, and that's a promo. They say it's impossible for an underdog to go the distance. Then again, they said it's impossible to get real Coke taste and 0 calories. Log on to mycokerewards.com and get lots of great NCAA gear. Davidson currently on a 7-0 run. They've won 25 games in a row, the nation's longest winning streak. Coming into this game with a 29-6 record. They are undefeated in Southern Conference play, 20-0 for Coach McKillop, who's from Queens, New York, played at Hofstra 1 year with the Philadelphia 76ers. He's old school, no nonsense. You do it one way, the right way.
That's New York City basketball.
That is true. Now here's Richards. Curry around the screen.
You look at Kahn stepping out again, trying to help off the screen. Wide hedge.
That one deflected out of bounds by Chalmers with 10 to shoot. Chalmers from Anchorage, Alaska. He's another player that has an ability to put up big numbers when you need them. Had 30 against Texas this year. Averages 13 a game. Minnow. 6 to shoot. Richards, 4 to shoot. Turns, he's got a fire and does. Batted out of bounds, Minnow, and will head the other way.
A good defensive job by Kansas, switching out. Even the big man, Sasha Kahn, switches out on the point guard. And unlike Wisconsin when they played against Davidson a couple of days ago, full extension by Kahn to really challenge the jump shot.
Chalmers straight away and hits.
You see, that's the kind of offensive play Kansas needs to kind of extend that Davidson defense. Right now, packed in the middle, very difficult to throw any passes over the fronts established by the Davidson defenders.
Curry, quick release again. And finally he knocks one down. That may get him going. It's a 3. And Davidson takes a 12-9 lead.
And that was despite the challenge by Kahn, who might have been a hair late. And as we mentioned before, that's all Stephen Curry needs. Just a sliver of daylight.
Kahn in the pivot, drop step, nice move, quick foul. Sasha Kahn.
Right now, Davidson's defense kind of slacking off a little bit, not applying the pressure that they would like on that, particularly on that pass.
Curry again. This time Chalmers guards him. Puts it on the floor to the bucket. Left hand scoop. Arthur the other way. Pivot. Up and in. What a play.
Now we see the pace going up and down a couple times. This is more to Kansas liking.
Curry again. Ring it.
Did I say Kansas liking?
17-13 Davidson. 8:35 to go, first half. They're starting to warm up here in the motor.
Well, again, Kansas able to push the ball up the floor, but right back at you. Curry with the drive, and we said it over and over again, just fearless. That behind-the-back dribble gets him through the defense. And the last bucket, he just runs down the sideline, and we'll talk about that throughout the evening. Running down the sideline, kind of getting lost in transition.
Paulus Gosselin picks up the foul, his first. That one knocked out of bounds.
Gotta hurry up. Kansas seeming a little bit in confusion on that inbounds play.
Chalmers turns the corner, steps back, and hits.
Mario Chalmers establishing himself as the defense stretcher.
Meanwhile, a foul on the other end, and that will send Rossiter to the line. But Chalmers has come up with a couple of big baskets last couple of times down.
That's right. Off the bounce, he's kind of made a move towards the basket and backed the defender up. They recognize Mario Chalmers' skills, ability to drive to the basket as well as shoot the three, so he's getting plenty of respect.
So Kahn picks up his second foul. This week, Dave's all new with George Clooney, Renee Zellweger, and John McCain. Plus tomorrow, catch Biff at Yankee Spring Training, only on CBS. So Stephen Rossiter, sophomore from Staten Island, New York, misses 2 free throws. And here come the Jayhawks. Aldridge is checked in, a steal. Sander. Now Richards.
Just can't fall asleep against the Davidson defense. They are very tenacious.
And a timeout on the floor. 7:56 to play, first half. We have a 1-point game. We're looking for the final piece of the Final Four puzzle. Memphis, UCLA advancing, North Carolina winning, and they will play the winner of this game between Davidson and Kansas. Our score, Davidson up 17-16. A 1 versus a 10 here in Detroit. Davidson in red. Here's Richards, their dynamic point guard. Barr is checked in. He hit 2 threes against Wisconsin. He's from Maine and can really shoot it. Curry starting to warm up off the bounce. Long rebound picked up. And Davidson will get a new shot clock.
Kansas cannot afford to keep giving Davidson offensive rebounds. It's only the second one, but on shots like that where you give Curry another chance at the basket, you're going to pay.
There's the runner inside for Curry, and he's really starting to get loose now. 10 points for Steph, and Davidson takes a 3-point lead. Now Robinson. Pick and roll. Chalmers, who's been hot from up top. Inside, and a whistle. Jackson making himself big on the box.
We talk about Stephen Curry's ability to get himself free, change of pace, change of direction. And that was off the second chance opportunity as his dad Dell and his mom get a gander. Still drinking it in right now, probably like their son, trying to read the defense, and Dell a little more concerned than Sonia. Sonia's still clapping hands and cheering on.
Now Rush, who's also an electric scorer, picks it up. Rush to the basket. Mid-range, short. Lovedale. Here comes Richards. Barr frees himself with the dribble and fires a brick.
Well, he got bothered. Rush got in there at the last moment.
Chalmers off the break. Count it.
Mario Chalmers continues to try to stretch the Davidson defense, and when he gets the ball, Davidson has to be aware that he is out on the perimeter.
That ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by the Jayhawks. And a sub coming in, Darrell Arthur. And he replaces Aldridge. Aldridge plays about 8 minutes a game. They're knotted up at 19, 6:14 to play, first half. The winner to advance to the Final Four. Richards curling, running, and banking.
Boy, that was very effective execution. Pinpoint pass.
He has 6.
Terrific shot by Richards.
Chalmers again, hesitation, fadeaway.
Mario Chalmers just what Kansas needs right now as Davidson continues to pack it in. Chalmers keeps taking advantage.
Chalmers with 11 now. Curry.
Now he's got Rush on him. We talked about at the beginning of the podcast. He's going to see Robinson, Chalmers, and Rush. All of them switching off, trying to wear him down, but perpetual motion machine, Stephen Curry.
12 points for Curry inside. Arthur spinning and winning. Man. Game tied at 23. 5:20 to play, first half. After some early jitters, these two teams have settled into a very nice rhythm. The stars are shining. Here's Curry. The White Lobster. Barr, no. Long rebound. Here comes Rush. To the bucket. And that's a blocking foul. Good call on the baseline. And it's against Steph Curry.
Well, Stephen Curry so far has established himself. He's gotten some open looks from beyond the arc, made some fearless drives inside among the Jayhawk trees. And that time defensively, kind of got stuck by himself with Brandon Rush bearing down on him. And you take a look, a tale of two halves for Stephen Curry. First half, it seems as though he literally tries to read how the defenses are playing him. And then he makes the adjustment at halftime and just goes hog wild.
He started 0 for 5. Curry now 5 of 11. Timeout on the floor. 4:59 to play in the first half. And we're tied at 23.
Well, the tournament summary tells us that a little bit of history made thus far. 3 #1 seeds have reached the Final Four for the first time since '99. Never have all 4 made it unless Kansas wins here today. And you talk about containing Curry. Again, denials have to do with trying to get a straight pass to Stephen Curry. Curry's gotten passes off of screens or when he was wide open. That's when he's hit some field goals. Rush and primarily Robinson have done a pretty good job on Stephen Curry, keeping him contained.
Now Collins back in the game, top 6 man on this Kansas squad. He's from Chicago, number 4 white, with it right now. He's a spark plug and can get in the lane.
You can't discount the terrific defense being played by Davidson. You see the scramble right there on the double team, really getting the big guys out of their comfort zone, forcing Darrell Arthur to call the timeout.
4:37 to play in the first half. Back after this. Today's shining moments, how about Memphis? Heading to the Final Four. Douglas Roberts is from Detroit. He had 25. Rhodes, their dynamic point guard, only a freshman, 21 and 9. And Dorsey, a double-double with 11 and 12.
Shining moment. I think Memphis just blinded Texas with all that firepower and all that strength down low.
They crushed Michigan State in the regional semifinal. Collins driving, triple team, loses it, saved to Rush, and that's a shot clock violation before he gets it off. So 6 turnovers for Kansas.
And once again, it goes to the tremendous defense being played by Davidson. That time on Collins' drive on the baseline, 3 red shirts converged on him. He couldn't even see the basket.
What's Davidson doing, Len, to slow down this Kansas team? When we saw them against Villanova the other night, they were just moving up and down the floor.
Well, it begins on the offensive end. As we take a look right now, Kansas has gone to a zone. It begins on the offensive end where Davidson very deliberate, very decisive in executing their half-court offense.
Looks like a boxing one, Len. Robinson guarding Curry. Here's Richard. And that one sails out of bounds. 3:58 to play. First half, Davidson 23, Kansas 23. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, and Seth Davis will recap how Memphis made it to the Final Four, and they will talk with North Carolina star Tyler Hansbrough about being in the Final Four, plus an AT&T Naismith Watch update. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Now, we were talking before we went to break about how Davidson has managed to slow down this Kansas team.
Well, again, it was being very deliberate on the offensive end, but defensively, as they pick up full court right here, Davidson has done a nice job of packing it in, really not allowing the ball to go inside, but more importantly, pressuring the passes so they can't throw the ball to the rim, play above the rim, and making it difficult on everybody except Mario Chalmers, although right there, Kansas quickly attacks the pressure.
As Jackson banks it in, as they break the press. Kansas with the 2-point lead. Now the Jayhawks get into a zone. Inside, ball knocked out of bounds. Jackson got a hand on it.
Again, you take a look at the performances by the big people from both ends of this game. Stephen Curry, 5 of 11, being tightly guarded. Jason Richards has established himself. Mario Chalmers showing that he has the range. Brandon Rush maybe just getting started. Rush is 2 of 7. But in the end, it comes down to, particularly for Davidson, establishing the other guys out there as offensive threats. That's going to loosen it up for Stephen Curry.
Archambault off the mark. Ball rebounded. Chalmers has it.
And let me add one other thing. Kansas has rarely gotten a clean rebound on the defensive end, which means that Davidson's very active on the offensive glass, keeping it alive, and that allows them to get back once Kansas does secure possession, but prevent the fast break.
Chalmers has led them offensively with 11. Here's a rush off the dribble. In and out. Loose ball rebounded. Arthur inside, and he'll go to the line.
Brandon Rush can't get frustrated. He's had some pretty good looks. He's had some that hit every part of the rim except go in.
Rush with 4 points, 2 of 8 from the field. And when his coach criticizes him, he often says that Brandon is too unselfish. He needs to be a little bit more selfish and take over games. As Arthur misses the first, tonight on CBS, Cold Case returns with the new episode you've been waiting for. Tonight at 9, 8 Central on CBS.
Darrell Arthur, a 70% free throw shooter, and you know these are the kinds that you have to be able to make sure you knock down the free ones. Davidson not giving you anything easy.
Now Curry pops out. Robinson guarding. Curry with the screen, fires, and a whistle and foul. So Steph Curry will go to the line and shoot 3.
Even though he was fouled, Kansas has to be pleased with the reaction of Darnell Jackson. He steps up on that screen. You can take a look here. There's the screen, and Jackson comes up quickly. Now, Jackson was called for catching Curry on the arm, and I suspect he does because I haven't seen Stephen Curry shoot an air ball in the 3 games that he's played in this tournament, plus today.
He's a 90% free throw shooter. Curry with 13 points on 5 of 11 shooting. He's 2 of 5 from the 3-point line. And check out some of his numbers this season. He had 20 against Duke on 8 of 17 shooting, 32 against Charlotte on 7 of 14 shooting, 15 against UCLA, 40 against Gonzaga on 14 of 22. He hit 8 threes. 30 against Georgetown on 8 of 21. And 33 against Wisconsin on 7 of 13. And he gets 3 free throws there.
And yet with 15 points with about 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in this first half, I'd still say Kansas is doing a reasonably good job against Stephen Curry, making him work for almost everything. Maybe those 3 free throws certainly were a mistake. You don't foul the jump shooter. But Davidson, again, their defense doing a nice job controlling the tempo, forcing Kansas to work a little bit in the half court.
Chalmers will restart it. 6 ties in this game, 2 lead changes.
And I emphasize half court. No fast break opportunities have been available of recent vintage.
Rush the left hand, no, but the follow is there for Jackson. Jackson with 4 points now. And Kansas up by 2. Sander, right hand up, counted on the foul.
And it just seems as though whenever Kansas, does something good on the offensive end, Davidson comes right back at him and catches him out of rotation in bad position. You see Darrell Arthur just much too late on Thomas Sander. It's just excellent recognition by Jason Richard as he pushes the ball up the floor after a make by Kansas.
This is the free throw. Tied at 28, 2 minutes. Rush, and that's an offensive foul. Curry sliding in and taking the charge as Rush picks up his second. Kansas getting a little frustrated now.
Well, Kansas trying to be assertive. Watch Rush catch it and go down. Boy, that's pretty close. Pretty close. And I'm not sure that was the proper angle called from the left-hand side. It's very difficult to see exactly what happened, but to give Stephen Curry an awful lot of credit, again, staying low and getting position.
The winner here advances to the Final Four. It takes on North Carolina. Carolina, Memphis, UCLA already in. Inside Sander. Paulus Glasson, good look. Chalmers breaks it and takes it.
See, even then, Davidson does a nice job of getting back.
And another turnover as Jackson steps on the baseline out of bounds.
Clean rebound by Kansas, pushing it up. But all 5 red shirts hustle back, get into the paint. And then really Sander forcing the big guys down low on the baseline. Kansas having a lot of problems getting into their bigs.
Game tied at 28. Davidson at Kansas. Kansas, the top seed here in the Midwest. Davidson, a 10. Cinderella, 1:17 to play in the first half. And Kathy McKillop, the wife of Coach Bob McKillop. She's in the black shirt. Richards, double team, dribbles out of it, and steps on the sideline out of bounds.
Good defensive play out of the timeout, catching Davidson by surprise as that double came up on Richards before he could really blink an eye and trying to escape. They just never let him turn the corner.
Case is checked in for Kansas. He serves as the inbounder. They give it to Collins to run the show. Chalmers moves off the ball. Jackson, Arthur.
3 guards in the game for Kansas right now. Smaller guards as opposed to the normal 3-guard set.
And an offensive foul called on Arthur as he runs over Sander. Picks up his second.
That's the frustration of not getting Arthur the ball or being able to get Jackson the ball cleanly on the post. Now, Darrell Arthur trying to make something happen gets himself in some trouble.
Under a minute to play.
This time Richard much more aware of the potential of a double team.
Curry, quick release again. Jackson clears it.
Look at Davidson hustle back. Like I said, clean rebound. Kansas looking to fast break, but to no avail because the red shirts are back before they can even establish any type of break situation.
Collins, they spread it for him on a 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Now Collins gets into it, penetrates. Inside Jackson, great catch and finish. 5 seconds ago, here's Richards. On the move, lets it go. And that'll do it. Tight first half, Kansas up by a deuce. We'll send you to Greg Gumbel in New York with AT&T at the half. After this message and a word from your local station, you're watching CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the men's basketball championship is sponsored by KFC's Drumsticks and Thighs Bucket, AIG, Hanes, and by Southwest Airlines.